Hello friends, I'm going to start a new series on my channel and I'm going to call it Mixed Media Mondays, and my aim is to make a very short video, probably 10 minutes or less, every Monday and do a little mixed media project. I probably will fast forward through a bunch of it and just kind of show you the process. If you're wanting more details about things, I might slow it down a little bit and interject a little bit, but I'm going to, as I fast forward, I'm going to put some spiritual music on. I'm going to use some music from the Psalms project. They're beautiful. It's beautiful music that puts the actual words of the psalm to music. So if you want to start your Monday morning with a little bit of mixed media and one of the psalms or a couple of the psalms, feel free to join me. This is what I'm going to be making, and I've been working on this for a while now. And what I've done is taken watercolor paper, and I've actually used this watercolor paper, and I bought this at the dollar store, Dollarama, for $3. And it's 20 sheets of 300 GSM, and it's basically 8.5 by 11, a little bit different. And it's probably not the best watercolor paper in the world, but it works really well for what I'm doing. And it's very inexpensive. So I just take one of these sheets, I cut it into 4, and use one of those for each page. So what I've done is I've just done various techniques. This one, I'm not going to go through all of them, but this one I used some tissue that I just sort of crumpled up and adhered. And then I used, most of them I'm using Distress Oxide sprays or some other sprays, some metallic paint, sparkle paint. And then I'm using some of the wildflower dyes by Tim Holtz as accents. And then each one of them is going to have a quote or a scripture. These things, I just come across them, you know, in my reading, in my scrolling, whatever. And if they make an impact on me, I do a screenshot. And then I have 1,000 screenshots that I don't know what to do anything with. That's an exaggeration, but so I thought this might be a good way to just collect those. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to offer these quotes. They're going to be quotes, scriptures, whatever. I'm going to put that in my coffee shop as a freebie. So if you want to download that and use those exact ones, you can, or you can use quotes that are meaningful to you. So then each one, I put them on a happy planner. I used a happy planner punch to punch the edges, or and then I used the happy planner discs to bind it. There's many different ways to bind it. You don't have to do that way. I just find that way, you know, you can put things in and out. It's easy. And then I backed each one with just a piece of craft cardstock that I had. So here's just a couple of them. This one has, I think, basically some tissue and sparkle paint and one of the dyes as well. I do them kind of in a series of 4, so there's probably 4-ish that are the same. This is a real matte background. I made some homemade modeling paste and put it through a stencil, so I can share that at some point. This is just making, you know, various colors run together. I used modeling paste here. This was another Tim Holtz dye that I used to make this background and the wildflowers. Here's again the modeling paste through a stencil, one of the wildflower dyes, some metallic paint and sprays. You know, basically more of the same. I'm really enjoying this. It's a very simple project, doesn't take very long at all. I often will do the background, let it dry overnight, and then do the rest the next day just because it's easier, but you can also use a heat tool to dry it. So here's a beautiful rose stencil. I just put a couple of raised hearts on that one. Just all different things. I'm just really happy with how it turned out. There's some more dimension. Some of them I used napkins and then sprayed on top. just experimenting with different colors, different ways of doing splatters, different ways of doing the texture paste either before or after the coloring, different kinds of dyes, and this one even has a piece of rickrack, different color combinations. So this is just a little piece of cheesecloth. Just trying little different techniques. It's a really small project. You know, could do it very quickly, and it's fun just to experiment with different things, and that's kind of the point of this. So that's my book so far. I made a couple of backgrounds yesterday, just trying out some different colored combinations. So there's just a couple of them. They get a little bit warped initially, but once you adhere them to some, you know, some cardstock, some scrapbook paper cardstock, they actually flatten out pretty well, and you glue the stuff on, and you can kind of manipulate them a little bit too. And, you know, as you can see in here, they're fairly flat. So that's my project. If you would like to follow along or participate, subscribe to my channel so that you're not going to miss them. I'm hoping to have them up first thing Monday morning so that you can start your Monday that way if you like. And I'll have a freebie with the quotes on it before next Monday sometime up on the coffee shop. I'll link that below here where you can get it, and or if it's after you're watching this, just go over to my coffee shop and check the freebies there. And we'll start on Monday, and I'll do a little bit of a process video, fast forward it, show you the end project, and we can all have a beautiful way to start our week. So I'll see you next Monday for the first Mixed Media Monday. Thanks, friends.